Hello, my name is Dr. Liam Schubel, and I am the director of Schubel Quiropráctica here in Peru. And today I have the good fortune to interview my good friend, Dr. Scott Jacobson, who's been working with us for 7 years here in Peru. And we're going to hear his story today. Now, Dr. Scott, you've been working with us for 7 years here in Peru. How is it that you even heard of us in the first place, and why did you decide to come to Peru?
Well, I was a director of 2 PI clinics in the United States, and I wasn't happy. I knew there was something else. Seeing between 6 to 35 people a week, I just knew there had to be something else, more than just the pain model. And I had 2 friends that were working here that I graduated with, and I had no idea. They're living in another country and doing something completely different, and just had a normal conversation, and they said 2 words to me. They said chiropractic utopia. I don't know what it is about those 2 words, but a switch just flipped in my brain, and 2 weeks later I was here.
Tell us what some of your apprehensions were, what some of your worries were, because I know a lot of people watching this might be students or doctors fresh out of school, and they're concerned. You know, what, I'm going to go all the way halfway around the world to Peru. What were some of your concerns, and what happened with those concerns?
That's the biggest thing. It's moving. I never saw myself living in another country. Born and raised in the United States, I love the United States. I never thought of leaving, let alone moving to a third world country, not knowing the language, not knowing the culture. And those are the biggest questions that you have that bother you. And so thank God I actually had 2 people that I knew that were working for CQS, and they were just able to put me at ease. It's not as scary as you think. And again, I have to go back to chiropractic utopia. Just hearing those 2 words, it just took everything away. It took everything away, all the apprehensions away. Talking with Michael Suntimer, explaining that I would have a translator, a place to live, food every day, someone to wash my clothes and just pamper us every single day. It's 7 years. There's a reason I've been here 7 years, because it's great. It's a great place to be.
Scott, before you came to Peru, you were working in PI clinics in the United States of America. Explain to us then what the difference in the style of practice in a PI clinic is in the United States and our offices here in Peru, and as you say, chiropractic utopia. Why is it such a utopia down here in comparison to the PI model, let's say, in the United States?
It's completely different. It's completely different. When I was directing those 2 clinics, we would have new patients. We would spend probably an hour or more with each patient. We would come up with diagnoses, prognoses. We have to write up care plans that are pages long, submit them to insurance companies, do massage, ultrasound, electric stem, hot packs, cold packs, the whole gamut. The biggest difference here is that you only need to spend 30 seconds to 2 minutes with a practice member and literally watch their life change. The testimonies that I get every single day is what keeps me going. So when I say chiropractic utopia, it's an absolute amazing experience to come down here and practice pure chiropractic. That you don't have to worry about, did I get this diagnosis code right? Is this person going to get more than 5 visits or 12 visits? It's 100% cash. And people are wanting what we have to give. You don't have to do all these other therapies. You don't have to spend hours with a patient. You can literally spend 30 seconds to 2 minutes with a member, and they are more than happy to let you help them and help their kids and their grandkids and their parents. And it's been an amazing experience.
So you've learned a huge skill then, which is going to be very important in the future of chiropractic. You've learned how to communicate the value of chiropractic in a cash-based environment, right? There's no insurance companies that you're submitting to.
No,
So you're not begging to get paid from a third-party paying system. You are explaining the value of chiropractic, and then you're delivering the goods.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so simple, it's so easy, and it's so real. All we have to do is apply an adjustment to the spine, let the body start to heal and function like it's supposed to, and the testimonies that you get from each and every one of them. And I'm not talking 75% of my patients and my practice members get better. Almost 100% of members get better just by applying a simple force, specific force to the spine, and watch their lives improve. And people are more than willing to pay cash out of their pocket for what we have to offer.
Now, talk to me about volume and experience in taking care of people of all kinds of symptomatology, no symptomatology, disease processes, no disease processes, kids, older people, sports people. Explain to me a little bit about what that was like, the comparison of working in a PI clinic. What kind of volume are you seeing per week? And then what was your best volume week here in Peru?
You know, where do I start? I could talk about this for an hour. I was seeing anywhere between 6 patients a day to 35 patients a day in the United States. And I knew I could help more people, but you can't help that many people when you're spending an hour, 30 to 45 minutes to an hour with every single member. It's impossible. You can't help more people doing that. So anywhere between 6 to 35 people a day, and sometimes a week, to seeing almost 500 people per week, seeing upwards over 100 to 120 people per day, sometimes seeing 60 plus people an hour. It's just amazing. You don't have to spend a lot of time with people. You don't have to have an hour-long conversation with somebody. They don't care what I'm going to do this weekend. They don't want to tell me about their whole day. They want to get on with their day. They don't want to spend it talking with me, telling me about everything that's happened. They don't want to go on and on about their pain and tell me everything that happened and all the pain that they still have and don't have. They just want to get in, get out, and get on with their day, so that they can now take advantage of the days that they're having because their body's functioning like it's supposed to.
So tell me, Dr. Scott, what are some of the best benefits in your mind of working at Schubel Quiropráctica?
Oh, wow. I mean, not just seeing a lot of people and helping a lot of people, that's amazing in itself. To hear the testimonies every single day, that's amazing. It's the whole package when you come here. It's not just being able to help a lot of people and making a lot of money. It's having the opportunity to live somewhere where you don't have to worry about going and getting your groceries, going and getting your laundry done. You don't have to worry about how I'm going to get to work and taking, do I buy a car, do I need a bicycle? Everything's taken care of. Your taxi is taken care of, getting you to and from work. Your breakfast, lunch, and dinner is taken care of. Your clothes are taken care of. They're laundered, they're pressed, they're put away for you. You have somebody that cleans your room, that cleans up after everybody. And you're taken to and from work, and it's safe, it's secure, and it's an amazing experience. Not to mention the camaraderie that we have between all the doctors as well.
Talk to me about the financial portion of the Schubel chiropractic experience. What's it like financially to work as a doctor here?
I was struggling in the United States. I was making, at best, $900 a week. At best, $900 a week, bring home. And I've made upwards over $3,000 a week working here. And, you know, I don't want to make it sound like it's extremely easy. It takes work. It takes dedication. And if you're not willing to put in the hard work and dedication to learn the language over time, obviously, taking some time learning the language and learning how to communicate with your practice members, you're not going to make a lot of money and you're not going to be happy. But if you take the time, you dedicate yourself to learning the language, learning your practice members, who they are and what they want and how to communicate with them, the sky's the limit. And making over $3,000 a week here is easy once you learn how to do it, how to communicate and put in the time and effort. Making $3,000 plus a week can be done every single week.
Scott, you mentioned to us that you were making over $3,000 a week, American dollars a week, cash, take-home pay, net. What kinds of things did you have to do in the office to make that kind of pay?
And not only just $3,000 plus dollars, American dollars take-home pay every week, but that's in your pocket after your own personal expenses. Like I said, there's no gas to pay for, there's no vehicle you need to pay for, there's no room and board, it's all taken care of. Internet, cable, everything's taken care of. So what do I have to do to earn that kind of money? The paperwork is so simple. It takes 15 seconds to fill out the paperwork. It's so simple. You analyze, you detect, and you correct the vertebral subluxation, and it's that simple.
So I guess that's why they call it chiropractic utopia, because if you do that successfully, if you can detect, analyze, and adjust vertebral subluxation, and you can communicate the value of that, this situation offers you the opportunity to make upwards of $3,000 a week, American dollars, cash, take-home pay. And if you live a lifestyle that's not extravagant, you really have no expenses. It's a zero-expense lifestyle. So you can actually save $3,000 a week if you were disciplined.
I mean, you said it best, absolutely. And I've been saving for my own practice, saving thousands of dollars per week to start my own practice in the United States. Then I'm going to go home and I'm going to pay 100% cash to start my own practice, to have all the equipment, to have everything I need and want to continue this same great system in the United States. And I don't need to borrow money. I don't need to take out more loans. And I'm still going to have a nice place to live and practice with extra money left over.
So, Dr. Scott, one of the huge benefits of working at Schubel Quiropráctica is that you have the ability to become fluent in Spanish. Mm-hmm. Why is that so important in the United States of America? Because now you're going to be starting your own practice in the U.S. Why is speaking Spanish so important?
Well, there aren't very many chiropractors that can speak another language. So just to have another language in my pocket to use at any time, there's a whole another target market out there that I can target to. So and I'm going to be living in Texas, where it's going to be vital that I'm able to speak a second language to somebody, and to make them feel comfortable in my office, that they're not needing a translator. Maybe the doctor doesn't quite understand me. Over the 7 years, I've become extremely fluent in the language, and now I can take that and apply it, and not only just have the opportunity to help more Americans, but more Americans that speak a second language or their first language is Spanish. And now they can feel comfortable in my office and get the care that they desperately need.
Right. We have some doctors that have literally doubled their practice just by learning a second language because, as you probably know, the Spanish-speaking market in the United States now is the fastest growing demographic in the country. And so if you have the ability to create value for chiropractic and deliver the goods and do it in Spanish, you really will have people flocking into your office from that you definitely would not have had before if you only spoke English.
No, absolutely. And I mentioned earlier that I was working I was the director of 2 PI offices, and we had a huge Spanish base. We had a lot of Spanish-speaking people, but we had translators that would have to translate everything. And now to have the ability to go in and not need that translator and to communicate properly to them in a way that they understand, now they can get the care that they want and need, because now they feel more comfortable and at ease, and now they're more willing to trust you with their kids, their grandkids, and their parents.
So, Dr. Scott, we work with people of all types, all races, all colors, all creeds, all religions, and certainly all different levels of health. What were some of the most amazing experiences you've seen in your chiropractic office during your time here in Peru?
I can speak of one particularly. There's two I can think of off the top of my head. I had a patient, her name was Rosa. She came into the office and she looked at me in my eyes one day and she said, "Thank you for saving my life." And she handed me a bag of pills and dumped them out on the table. And I'm like 20 different pills. She was taking those pills for the last 10 years without any plan to stop taking them. Any plan. She was completely paralyzed from the neck down. She couldn't do her hair. She couldn't go to the bathroom by herself. The doctors said that was how she was going to be for the rest of her life. She had no hope. And just after 3 months with us, she wasn't taking any more pills anymore. I'm sorry, that wasn't after 3 months. After 1 year, she was no longer taking any pills. After 3 months, she got up and took her very first steps. Wow. And I have a video, and I show this testimony when I'm doing some health talks. And the impact that it has will just blow you away. She takes her very first unstable steps in our office 3 months into her care. It's obvious that someone's going to need, that's completely paralyzed and has a lot of problems in their spine, a lot of damage in their spine. It's going to take time to heal and function and to get better. And for her to walk again, and for her to not need any more medication, she still uses a walker, but just to have that impact on somebody's life is amazing.
So Rosa's very happy that you made the decision to come to Peru. Would that be accurate?
I think so. There's another one, if you don't mind.
Yeah, okay.
It's a sad one.
Okay. So, Scott, tell us about another case that you had here in Peru that was impactful for you.
All right. So I had a mother come in, and she, too, had no hope. She could barely walk. She came in a wheelchair. Her legs and her muscles were completely atrophied. She could barely stand on her own. She had cancer. She had spinal cancer and was only given a couple of weeks to live. Like literally a couple of weeks to live. We were able to give her 6 more months. She had her kids under care. I think it's obvious on how I've mentioned it, that how I've said it, that she's obviously passed on. But to give her family, to give her and her family the time that they desperately wanted and they needed, I mean, what is that worth? What's that worth? She only had a couple of weeks to live, and we gave her 6 months. And not to just say she had more time on this planet, but the quality of life. She was walking, she was laughing, she was having fun, she was enjoying her kids. They weren't laying at her bedside next to her while she died. They had fun, and she died in her sleep with no pain. No physical pain, no mental pain. They enjoyed her last months on this planet. And to just have that little bit of an impact in somebody's life, it's unforgettable.